Hello, James here. Sorry about that on my second video. Interrupted uh, some audio.
And then you want to go back home too, so you can't find a man outside. Then you want to go back home and date a black man. Why is he to trust you? Men don't know what you're doing. What in the world are you doing in these other countries? I see all the time. You know what I see? You ladies get on TikTok and telling yourself. That's why men don't believe you. You get on TikTok and say, oh, I was trying to get in with this guy, and I was trying to get it in with that guy. And yes, you can say, oh, it's just women who travel to these places and just visit. But that's what you're doing. You're just traveling and visiting these countries. You're most likely not living in most of them long term. Like me, I've been here in the Philippines my entire time. I traveled to other countries, but I'm mostly here in the Philippines. You want to keep dibbling and dabbling. So what else do you want to keep doing as you're dibbling and dabbling? You want to dibble and dabble with men too. We know that you ladies think just like us. But one thing you know what I noticed? Is that they not like us. They not like us.
Uh,
I don't know what's going on with the women. It's talking about they too good to go to Friday starters, Outback, Texas Roadhouse, IHOP. What? Why y'all too good? I'm not. I was talking to my homegirl on the phone, and I got a date today. And she was asking me where I'm going, and we going to Texas Roadhouse. And she like, Texas Roadhouse, girl, you gotta make him make reservations somewhere upscale and a luxury restaurant where you gotta get dressed up. Girl, you got 3 baby daddies, 3 different baby daddies. One of them don't even claim your baby, and 2 of them locked up. And you on Section 8. And you on welfare. Okay? It's just like, girl, what? And I asked when the last time you had a date. And she like, right. Y'all women, y'all act like y'all too good for shit. That's why y'all always in the house. That's why nobody wants y'all.
Mom, you didn't have to do all that. Okay, you didn't have to go there. That was out of bounds.
And I think that the black man and the white woman just liked each other. You don't want to know why we like y'all's black men? Because they not y'all's black men. They're not. You don't know shit. You know, way back in the day. So we gotta go way back there. You know how we were separated and there was some still sneaky stuff going on, right? But as you know, things evolved, got better. We started to mingle together, and that made a lot of us white and black folk happy. It did. And then we got to mingle together even more, and I think that the black man and the white woman just liked each other. I just think they liked each other. And you're mad about it?
Man, these white women are becoming audacious and outrageous. Okay, she said it straight to your face. You don't own black men. Damn. She said back in the days, white women, black men doing a little bit of sneaking around. It was sneaking until it wasn't, and then, you know what I'm saying, niggas died. A lot of these white women get a lot of abuse for dating black men. And you have some of them who, I believe, bring it on themselves a little bit. They make it their entire personality. But when you push someone into a corner, sometimes you just snap.
As a woman, you need to go where your image is put on a pedestal. For me personally, I know that the black community does not hold people that look like me in high regard because I am dark skinned and I am not ambiguous or mixed, okay? So me personally as a woman, I've had to divest from the community because that's not where...
You're delusional. Just operate, you're fully delusional. If black men don't like dark-skinned women, what race does? I'm so confused. Listen, no problem with you dating out. I'm not a hypocrite, okay? The black community doesn't like dark-skinned women, so I have to divest. What other community likes dark-skinned women?
My looks are put on a pedestal. And this is what I'm saying. You have to go where you're valued the most and where your looks are valued the most. I'm not going to put myself in a position where I'm going to the club all the time. Clubs are not for dark-skinned black women, whether you want to believe it or not. I'm not going to be going to the clubs expecting to get...
I was genuinely thinking that she was going to say, that's why I'm going to Africa, or I date Caribbean men. Because in those places, the beauty standard is black women. That's where my brain was going. It's not divested.
Get let in with my friends and all that stuff, expecting equal treatment. I'm not going to go to Miami trying to go to all the popular places expecting to be the exception as a black woman. I likely won't be the exception, and I will not be standing out of any club or in any restaurant where people are trying to spit in my food or trying to ignore me when I'm trying to order my food or trying to leave me outside of the club because I'm too dark. That's something I'm never going to experience. I'm never going to go to a section where certain types of celebrities are just for me to be rejected. Don't set yourself for humiliate. Set yourself up.
What I've noticed with a lot of dark-skinned women, and this woman is attractive. A lot of dark-skinned women, they can't just be ugly. It has to be because they're dark-skinned. And it's like, no. You can be ugly just because you're ugly. Nothing to do with you being dark-skinned.
Exactly.
What you're speaking about is attraction. Yeah, you might not stand out in Miami. Not because the women are dark-skinned, just because the women are more attractive. According to everything I hear, Miami's where all the bands are. It's going to be very difficult to stand out there. But it's not because you're dark-skinned.
For humiliation, don't set yourself up for rejection. You are not the exception and you are not special, and people don't care about you. Okay? That's what you have to understand. Whoever approaches me, whoever thinks I'm pretty and compliments me is who I like. Okay? And that just is what it is. Because I'm not going to set myself up to be disrespected or rejected. It's a form of self-preservation that more women need to understand and exercise. Stop thinking that you're going to be the exception. You likely won't. Look at all the women who stand by certain abusers' sides. And they stand by these abusers' sides because they know for certain types of men that they're going to be put on a pedestal, even if they also get abused, also get these things. They're, at the end of the day, getting these men's resources.
You just done a Kanye West. Okay? Firstly, let me say this. There's nothing wrong with liking who likes you. I respect it. It's what most men do. You're talking about abusers. You're on a Kanye West thing. The Kanye West will say some deep shit. Some real deep shit. And then you just go completely left. That's why I don't put milk in my cereal. Because at the end of the day, a white man, what are you talking about, abusers?
Right? These are the women that are getting men, which is why you always see abusers with a flock of women still around them, or certain races of women still around them, because certain races are put on a pedestal by certain types of men. And certain women are smart enough to understand that, at the end of the day, these men may be ignorant, they may be whatever, abusive, they may be highly flawed, but at the end of the day, they see me as the prize, so this is where I'm going to stay. You see it right now with certain abusers that are being, revealed in the media. They still have certain races of women still hanging around them, still advocating for them, fighting for them, defending them. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, non-black women especially, they understand that as long as you're put on a pedestal in the eyes of a man, you're going to have access to those funds, okay? And you're going to be able to gas yourself up and keep your self-esteem high because you're always around men that see you as the prize. And that's how you need to be as a woman to maintain your self-esteem.
Ma'am, I'm pretty sure on TikTok you get paid after a minute, okay? You should just stop. I don't know I have no commentary on the last part of what you said. I don't know what you were talking about. Honestly, I was trying to keep track, but I couldn't. But this is what I'm going to say. If I'm not mistaken, 15% of black men date out around there. That would mean 85% of black men don't. Black people like each other. If you want to divest, there's nothing wrong with that. But don't be delusional. No other race likes black women more than black men. None.
Why does no one talk about how hard it is to find a guy that genuinely likes you when you have surgical enhancements? Like, I feel like when I never had, what I had done to my body, it was easier to find men that genuinely like me. Now I just feel like everyone sees me as an object, and like men just literally lust over you. Is it just me? And I just feel like this ain't spoken about enough. Like, literally, every man sees me as an object. Every man says something sexual to me. Does no one want to love me?
I mean, this must be a mistake. Honestly, let's see how you carry yourself on social media, because there's no reason why men would do this. I can't think. You look like an upstanding young woman. Why would men be sexualizing you? I don't get it. I just find that to be horrible. I just don't get it. Why are they leaving sexual comments? This doesn't.
Me? Obsessed with the gym? Yes.
Couldn't fathom why. I just don't get it. Men are just so bad.
Let me tell y'all while I'm single on this Sunday morning. Long story short, me and dude get into it about a question. We're having this debate about men and women and men are the prize, blah, blah, blah. So then he asks, okay, how many bodies you got? Mind you, we already had this conversation at least 3 times. I have no problem being open and transparent. So I'm like, what's the question? Because now I'm irritated because why are you asking this question again? So I'm like, the number 60, like what's the follow-up question? We go back and forth about the number of bodies. Mind y'all, I got 4 kids. 3 baby daddies, 1 ex-husband. Been with dude over a year now. You knew this when you got with me, bro. So you at least know I got 3 confirmed bodies. If that was such an issue, why would you even move?
Like 3 and 50 to 57, because there'll be 57 more. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, that's a big 3. Okay, I know there's 3, but then there's 57. I feel like that, you know what I'm saying, it's not really good.
Forward in a relationship. You asking this question a year later for like the 5th time already? So now we get into it because I said 60. I'm like, okay, but what's the follow-up question? Does the number really affect the question that you're going to ask? What's the question? Now there's no question and we're arguing about bodies. Mind you, I'm 35 years old. He's 4 years older than me. 5 years older than me, so y'all do the math. When the last time somebody asked you how many bodies you got? Like, that should have been asked on day 1. So now we arguing about this bad, right? Now he's telling me, oh, bitch, nobody ever took you serious. You got 4 kids, 3 baby daddies. Ain't nobody ever made you a wife. Mind you, I'm divorced. So now I'm like, oh, okay. You've been waiting to say this shit. You've been waiting to get this off your chest. And I've been real humble, cute, and ladylike. But now, oh, what's up?
He finds it difficult. He was insecure firstly about the 60 bodies. As I want to say any man would, because I feel like
60 bodies.
Okay, let me just say, a man like myself would never date you. So I won't be insecure about your bodies. I'll just be like, you got 60 bodies? Ew. Not interested, right? But he dated you and he's insecure about your 60 bodies. He's trying to fathom the fact that you have 60 bodies. He can't grasp it. What's trippy to me is that you are married and you have 60 bodies. That's where it becomes difficult, because you see, when you've been in long-term relationships, it's very difficult to run up your body count.
Right.
Very, very difficult, because you're with one person
Right.
for an extended period of time. So
Right.
let me give you guys personal experience. I was in a relationship from 19 to about 23, and that was the first woman I was with. So when I was 23, when that relationship ended, I was only with one woman. You see how it works? So if you're 35 with a 60 piece, but you've been married, how long were you in a relationship? Because that period of time, that means you were only with one person. So that means when you were single, you racked up like you were going, oh, you were like 2015 Steph Curry. That's crazy. Okay, but look, you said he knew this before you guys got together at the beginning. So I'm on your side. If he knew it, you should just accept it. Like, why is he being a bitch now all of a sudden? If it was a big deal, you wouldn't have got with her. But you got with her now, a year later, you're upset now.
Right.
Talking about how many bodies you got. You already know how many bodies she got. She got 60 pieces. Michael Jordan numbers, you knew that.
Right.
But you still got with her. Now you're bringing it up in an argument. That's a lame, bro. That's lame.
I'm gonna say right here, man. You see why some men are single? Because the stories that these women confessed on video. Now, mind you, there are men from all walks of life. Some that have good jobs. Some are probably very, what they say, handsome. They probably got everything going for themselves. Single. Imagine them coming across a woman that putting this stuff out there on TikTok. Imagine, and it could be some men attracted to some of these women in some of these videos. But these women spoil it. And these the same type of women when their girlfriends settle down, or when they got some sense to settle down because they understand what life is really about, they get mad at them because they can't see that. They get the jealousy, the resentment, the hatred. Then that's something what the brother in the that continued video made, what he was saying about the women try to go overseas and do what the men do. And it really is dangerous for a woman. It is really dangerous for a man too, but it's really dangerous for a woman to do something like that, to try to do the same thing, a copy, a pattern that men do to women in other countries, because it don't work that way. It's too different. It's too, men have a certain way of move in and move out when they travel, when they doing things like that. Really, either one of them should. It's basically good to find a partner, if you can, but you shouldn't try to put dipping and sticking everywhere you go, because even no matter if you're here or if you're over in another country, it's just not. It's not a good look. A lot of women in those countries, they want a man to settle down. They looking for, and if you and they vibe with you, they probably looking for a potential mate. They ain't looking for someone just hit and skip and dip and go to another part of the world. So and it's really after a while. And then this last video with the woman with the 60 body count. Oh my goodness, it by the grace of God, luckily she ain't got no STDs. Luckily, anything worse. And you know how many in the spiritual world, in the believers, we call that 60 bodies. And those who read the Bible understand I'm about to go there. She got legions of demons. Why would I say that? 60 bodies, that's 60 soul ties. Put the 60 people that slept, those 60 people that slept, who she slept with, all those partners, or she have a connection with, a spiritual connection to. And it's the same way. I don't know what it's about people bragging about how many bodies, but in the end, and you wonder why you're going through and it goes down to the generation of your children too. What you've done, especially if she did this before she started having children, it comes upon the children. These women don't think like that. Same way, it's wrong, just as wrong as a man do it. It's good to settle down. It's too dangerous out here. It's good to find your woman and just settle down, man. When you get to a certain point in your life, just settle down. And if you go to at least like what the brother did, like you've been in a relationship over a while, it don't work out. Maybe you go to a second relationship or a third relationship, but you just don't keep popping in and out of, jumping in everybody else's bed, hotel bedroom, or the bedroom, because the bedroom It's really sacred and precious to have an intimate moment to produce life. That's basically what it is, and it's just that too bad that people, and then you wonder why when you get to a certain point of time, it's going to take effect on your body. It's going and you bring your body up under a curse. Believe it or not, in the end, it might ages you. It might do many things to you. It might to the point that maybe when you get in your 60s, you may still want to still have that intimacy. It might affect that. It might, and you have to go to a specialist, done an OBGYN for some of you women. I don't know why these women think that's flexing. And one thing is dangerous for a woman when it comes to this kind of living is because they're the carriers. So whatever men deposit, you the carrier of it. So I don't know why they thinking that's flexing. It's dangerous. You have a lot risk of coming something up inside of you than the men do. Men have something for prostrate and colon. You have it worse. Ovaries and everything. I don't understand your mindset. And these women have all these kind of issues. Then that's just the physical issue. We didn't get to the mental issues. So, what I hear in these videos that a lot of women have some serious mental issues. This is what some of older men see. Wise men see this. And so when you see you doing, and the men who probably have the resources that can help you out, they're looking at this thing too. I don't, you can play the charming, pretty, oh, woe is me, but it's when you see stuff like that, as men, we're like, no, it's too much problem. And I like in the one video, like what AC said, if you're a broken person, nobody need to be broken. You need to do some healing before you get to your next relationship. And I totally agree with that statement. You need to do some healing because that's not going to solve anything. There was a time that, I probably thought it was when I was younger, hey, we've all been young because we didn't understand, we didn't see down the road what's going to happen. And really, my intention was at the time as a single man just to meet a woman, but I went about the wrong way trying to make a sexual relationship and try to evolve into a steady relationship. Just sometimes that don't work. And it's good to find somebody because I realize as a man that in wisdom as a man now that I haven't been with nobody in 10, 15 years. Some people say, oh man, that's no. If you understand what's going on out here, you'll wait. Is it worth getting HIV? Is it worth getting STD? Is it worth having something worse? Because you don't know what's being released in this earth that can literally take your life. And it comes through your intimacy with another person. And you go down fast. Is it worth taking 30 pills for the rest of your life? For one night of pleasure can cause a whole lot of physical pain. And then what if you finally meet somebody that, man, you can have a relationship with? Now you struggling with HIV or something like that, and you have to be cautious. You finally found a mate. You finally settle down. Or it can literally put you in a wheelchair or something like that. People got to start, hey, good to settle down. You ain't missing nothing. When you meet, if you meet somebody, be glad you got somebody, because it's not guaranteed you leave that good person. It can take a while to meet another good person that really have the heart and love and faithfulness and commitment to you, even as a friend, because that's what it starts out with. This is the truth. It's not cool, you know, to keep bouncing off everybody, and out in everybody's bedroom. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you physically in this life. It's going to cost you eternity in the next life. And it's you think you suffer in the physical life, because you know once you get HIV or one of these others, that could be a lifetime. Look at people that got HIV now, and it's not just for a certain demographic of people it used to be for. You just can't say it's just for the LGBT community. No. It's in the straight community. It's a sin. It's a sin that's going to cost you your body. It's going to cost you your life. My advice is to you is to settle down. And if you decide to be hard-headed, at least be smart about it. If someone they don't care about themselves, they don't care about you. And there's some people out here that's cold. If they got something, what do you get with a partner that's been with somebody that have that? See, sometimes people don't think like this until they end up going to the doctor, and they end up finding out at the last minute. Then it's too late. This, what you missing? Because you see one good looking, all because of a look. All because of a body? Heck, the devil can look good looking, but he's the devil. He's the devil. He could come as the most beautiful being on the planet. Can come as a man. In some cases, he can come as a woman. But you don't know until the last minute that he's the devil. Let this that should be a lesson. Because we see somebody, it's good to find somebody attractive, but attraction can only go for so long. Who is the person behind that beautiful face? Who's the person behind that high income? Who is the person behind the fancy clothes in the house? Who is the person? And it's too bad people don't take time out to ask that. Who is that person? And you in the back, and someone treats you and walked out and did you bad. It's just a thing like that. You made that choice. And that can go for men and women. That's the truth. It's good to wait on somebody. And like AC said, you need inner healing. Women should, like men, should take some inner healing. If you still bitter and angry and disgust whatever, you need to find out what it is. Because it ain't someone of the opposite sex that's hurt you. You hurt yourself. And that's why people are reluctant to get into relationships right now. Because there's a lot of hurt people trying to figure out how they scheme, con, and they never been confronted with this. You want something great. You're conning and you're scheming and you're scamming and your self-entitlement is not. No one's going to keep putting up with that. You're going to end up being alone. Because sometimes God will take that person away from your life. Not just off the earth, but He can have them walk away. And then when you get older and older in this earth, it's going to come back and hit you. No matter if you're a man or you're a woman. But some of these women with this, and these young women, these women with these self-entitlement, you can keep that self-entitlement because years going to go by. And you're going to be miserable. And it's because of the way your attitude is. And the ones that carry that attitude, and the ones that agree with that attitude with some of these women, that's the reason why. That's why I'm a firm believer. Yeah, you need to do some inner healing. And I know a lot of people don't believe in God, or they'll probably don't believe in Jesus, but He's the only answer to that. If you want a healthy relationship and a faithful, He will show you what a real man is. In black men or what any other man. But you got But these women gotta understand that. Just like some of us men did. You gotta take accountability for your actions. You have to be real with yourself. And some women have tried it. I've even heard women try to advise other women, but they don't listen. Then they find out it's too late. Domestic violence or something worse. You need to do some inner healing. And you do not need to be in a relationship. You need to spend time with yourself. And I don't care if you LGBTQ, you need to, even someone of the same sex. Because it's the person in a companionship with. Why can't some people understand that? Only God can heal you. Figure out what is wrong, what is causing you to do that. That's why we have counselors and psychiatrists here for. To figure out what is in your mind to keep attracting the same person and attracting this behavior. And you're not settled down in a relationship. You like this woman with 60 bodies, 3 baby daddies, married, what? And you bragging about it on social media? Talk about on social media, being so upfront. What does that say to the next man that meets her? That maybe has something, maybe can someone understand you have 3 children. These women don't understand their mouth is going to spoil. The men are looking past your looks. We are in an age that men are listening and watching, using the insight that God has given them. Your craftiness, your cunningness, like a Jezebel, ain't gonna keep working on men. I don't care how pretty or you can act feminine all you want to. If you got that kind of mindset like these women in these videos, you're gonna lose. You're only hurting yourself. And if you come across that man that think you can outslick him, he's going to outslick you. It's not going to be a pretty ending. Stop playing this game with men. Most men ain't going to be nice. Most men ain't going to be the nice guy. You might get something worse. So think about what you do. Now, if you're hurt and you're damaged, you need some counseling. And if you have children and you're about to start a relationship, don't drag them into this because of your bad choices. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to your babies. And these are to the women who have the same mindset, particularly to the women who have, like these women in this video. You need some inner healing. Why do you hate yourself? Why do you hate the skin that God put you in? Why do you hate the man that God selected as your father? That he's the image of your father. Why do you do that? Because you despise something that you came from. And then some of you women get mad when you see the man that looks like of your ethnic background. He's not going because he's simply, now there are some men like want to play around the field just like women do. I get it. There's some men that have the insecurity like some of these black women do, and because they don't like black, because somewhere along the line a black woman really damaged them when he was a boy, probably. I don't know, something like that. But overall, same woman. And if that's the case, you need to be healing, because if you're looking for something in validation in another person, you're going to come to the end that it has nothing to do with the race of the person, because each other race got issues and problems. White people got problems, Hispanic people got problems, Asian people got problems, and just like it is. Everybody got issues and problems. So a lot of people have serious self-hate. Them ones who have that serious self-hate like that, they need some counseling. I can never get with a person because if I'm gonna get with a person, even if it's outside the race, it's not hitting what my ethnic background and what it is. It's just that, hey, it was deeper because the person's mentality was. It has nothing. If it had to be of a different woman of a different ethnic background, it's gonna be because of her mentality and the way her mindset. Because when you get past the appearance, that don't mean nothing. And I think that's what's problem with people. But if it had to be with the black woman, hopefully she has some sense. In some realistic sense. And then again in the second video, to the people wonder why are we going to separation? It's because a lot of people suffer this up here. They suffer self-hate. It all starts up here. And even though they say the most outrageous and grandest thing, and they're looking for praise, and it's sad because they're gonna find in the end it has nothing to do with, well, I was raised in a certain ethnic background, so my ethnic background represents that. No, you were just raised in an individual family, individually around you, but not everybody looks like you carry that dysfunction. You're gonna find that in the end that really it comes back to you. So you sit down there, put down your men, put down your men. You hear me or not? Put down your men. It's not good. Put down a woman is not good. So they don't get being alone. And if they don't, they're gonna find out that even if you in a race, and your spouse is of another race, there's other issues there that you're gonna have to agree. You can't live in a fantasy world. There's other issues beyond the skin and beyond the culture. It's the everyday life. It's the everyday life. Can this person love you? That's what it comes down to. And if people can love you in your family, in your race, like someone of a God bless them if they're from another race. But don't put your race down just to get with another race. Because you're gonna be delusional. It's just sad that, and these women, they need some help. That's why men are choosing to stay single. It's what they put on video. And then it's when we see some of the women acting like this on video and they come into our lives, we know just to back away. The wisest ones, back away. We're not going to go through this roundabout, this dysfunction. Cut it off right there. Boom. We're done. Because it's something worse. And it's something, and especially if he talk to you about it, the man tell you this is the problem and you don't want to fix it and you don't want to take account for it, he's going to dip. Best thing for him to dip, because it's going to cost him his mental, it's going to cost him financially. And this is what it is. And it's telling other men, even some younger men, that see this dysfunctional relationship out of some of these women, not to get with them. So when these women go into the club or whatever, why are men not talking? Because of women like this. Their mindset. They put their business right online. And then when some men see women acting like this in their city, in their town, their state, whatever, wherever they at, they know what to look for. See, ladies, we paying attention too. It's like you paying attention to us. We're paying attention to what you're doing. because God gave us the ability to saying that this is an investment. A family, having my kids, being the protector, the provider, and then you tell me you're not going to reciprocate whatever they call it, if I said that right, and so you're not love me as a wife, love me as a husband, honor me and respect me, I'm gone. If I got hoop and holler and act like a fool just for you to respect me, I'm gone. I got to act like a so-called N-word just for you to respect me, I'm gone. If that's your idea, then I'm gone. It ain't no sense. Shoot, might be single for the rest of your life. If that what it mean. Because at least I have peace. Because what all men want, men have said it, is peace. All men want this. But women are not listening. They need to listen to men. And respect and honor the man, even regardless of his personality. If he has an introvert, nice guy person, respect him, love him. God will make him a stronger man. But you don't have the patience. That's the problem. That's why a lot of women lose good men, and they end up in their 50s and 60s and 70s single. Not because they're widow, because their mindset, their entitlement, where they choose, how they choose, and how they talk to their man. So that's all I gotta say on this video. But hey, the jokes keep writing for itself. It is what it is. Take care, be blessed. Like, subscribe, share it. Take care, and let this be a lesson. If you want a good man, stop acting like a fool. Take care.